What's going on, guys, and welcome back to another episode of Career Mode. This is episode number 120, and of course 2 episodes ago in the Champions League final against Dortmund, right at the end I told you guys that we had a job offer here from Tottenham Hotspur, and I asked you guys to vote whether we should stay at Napoli and continue our dominance or go back to the BPL and take over at White Hart Lane. And you guys voted, you guys decided that we should go back to the BPL and join Spurs. We've joined Spurs, we've left Napoli, we've left them with an incredibly strong side. We have now got a new challenge, and that is of course get Spurs into the top four. It's not going to be an easy task for us, but I'm definitely looking forward to the challenge. The side does look quite good, and I'm pretty pleased you guys have actually voted for us to join Spurs, because I'm very excited about this. And as you can see, the side we got here at Spurs, it does look quite good, and yeah, it should be a nice new challenge for us, really. And the side we've inherited is a 5-star team, very decent players in this squad, but unfortunately they're not in the Champions League, they are in the Europa League so far. So our task here at Spurs basically is get Spurs back into the Champions League, and it's not going to be an easy one, just ask AVB. So it's not going to be too easy to get Spurs back into the Champions League, but they've got a very decent budget here. It's around 50 million in terms of the wage budget. You need to allocate some space as well, so around 50 to 45 million we've been given at Spurs, and basically we are going to need to sign some players as well, because although the side is quite good, there are quite a few players in that first team and on the bench that, quite frankly, I don't think they'll really cut it at a Champions League sort of level if we do want to, get ourselves to eventually win the Champions League with Spurs and maybe one day challenge them for the title. They may not be good enough for that kind of task, so we will be looking to remove some of the deadwood at the club, also bring in some players of our own, and of course one player we are definitely going to be looking to signing straight away is Brian Carrasco of Napoli, of course. First at some random club, Audax Italiano I think it was, then at Millwall, then at Napoli. Now we want to take him to Spurs and basically just keep the cult hero of the series, because anyone that's new to this series and new to this channel will know Brian Carrasco is the cult hero of this series. We had him at Millwall in the Championship, he was one of our first signings, and he's basically stayed with us ever since then in this series. Also, another signing I want to make is Leao Gutierrez. Now this guy is a scout future star. We got at Millwall, we had him at Millwall, we started to develop him. He's 20 years old, he's a Brazilian centre half, he's 79 overall already. We had him on loan at Napoli. He's a very, very awesome centre back, so I want to get Gutierrez into the Spurs side as well, maybe have him as part of our defensive partnership straight away, or maybe on the bench, but he's definitely someone I'm looking into signing. Also this guy here, Fabian Scar, someone have to tell me how it's pronounced. This centre back who plays for Basel, 26 overall, 26 years old, 26 overall, 26 years old, 84 overall, looks very decent, currently being courted by Manchester United, so we offer Basel £10 million plus Brown. We also go in for Ross Barkley as well, because there are quite a few transfer targets I have at Spurs, the main two of course Carrasco and Gutierrez, but that's not going to take up all our budget. One player I'm definitely wanting to sign is Ross Barkley, so I'd love to get him here at Spurs, and of course we just saw us going there for Shah, and also the other player I was looking at was Fernando of, currently at Sunderland now. This guy plays for Shakhtar Donetsk in real life, I'm pretty sure that's right. Currently plays for Sunderland on the game though. £6.5 million valuation, 26 years old. Looks pretty decent, some good stats on there, and I thought I'd offer Capu plus £5 million plus Fernando, for Fernando, because I think he could be a decent holding midfielder for us. And we also went in for Nathaniel Chalobah, currently at Forest on the game as well, although I'm pretty damn sure he is actually a Chelsea player for, basically owned by Chelsea, just currently on loan at Forest. I'm not sure he signed there permanently, but anyway, we offer for Forest £5 million for him, wait to see what happens there. We also went in for another Forest player, Carl Darlow, a goalkeeper, because as you guys have seen, we don't really have, we've only got two goalkeepers here. One is Lloris, and then the other one is like 61 overall, so I would like to get a backup goalkeeper in. And Carl Darlow, I don't know what he's going to be like in the game, but in real life he's a regular for Forest, and he's actually quite a decent young talent, so I imagine he's got some decent potential in the game, maybe not too much, maybe like mid to high 70s, but he's very decent in real life, so I wouldn't mind getting him on the game as well as a backup goalkeeper. But Napoli weren't happy with the bid we put in for Brian Carrasco, so we resent one of £7.25 million plus Aaron Lennon. We also saw that we sold one of our random players, Wes Morris. He's gone for 325 grand. So as you guys have seen, there's quite a lot of deadwood at his club, so we need to get rid of it as soon as possible, as we just don't want it to be eaten into our wage budget really. We offer Millwall £9 million for Gutierrez, and we'll wait and see what happens there. Also, Forest said they weren't going to let us take Carl Darlow, and Sunderland said they wanted £6 million plus Capu for Fernando, and I wasn't really sure about this deal because I've never used him before. I'm not sure how good he is, but I'm pretty sure he's going to be a decent player for us at the holding midfield. The scout seems like he's got a good knowledge of him, and he seems like quite a good defensive player. So we offer 5.5 million plus Capu, and wait and see what happens there. Also, Everton don't want to let go of Ross Barkley. No real surprise. 24 years old. He looks like an absolute monster for Everton at the moment. So we're offering a new deal. We also up the bid for Fabian Schär of Basel, because currently he's being wanted by Manchester United, who will be a rival for us for the top four. So I definitely want to get hold of him and not see him go to Old Trafford. So we put in a new bid of £11 million. We then saw a transfer offer came in for Nelson Oliveira, currently a striker we have here at Spurs. Marseille want him for £11.5 million, but he's 83 overall. He's only 26 years old, so he's clearly got a couple more growth ratings in him, I'd say. So I wouldn't mind keeping him, to be honest. And at the moment he's actually on the bench, so it depends on the formation. I might play with two strikers and have him and Sturridge partner together. But we resubmit a new deal for Chalobah. We offer £7 million plus Capu, and wait to see what happens there. And also Millwall accepted a £9 million deal for Gutierrez. So that does look like it could be quite an expensive deal for us, as we offer him a contract of 50 grand a week for 5 years. And I accidentally tick the crucial first team player box. Now the reason why that's a bit of a blow for us is because I don't think Gutierrez is going to be a crucial first team player. So I accidentally pressed the right stick there, and once I submitted the contract I realised I'd made the wrong call there. So we offer Gutierrez a contract and we'll wait and see what happens there. But also Everton aren't going to let Ross Barkley join us, and Basel don't want to let go of Schär either. But Sunderland said they wanted 6.6 million for Fernando plus Capu. So we offer £6 million and we'll wait and see what happens there. So I'm pretty sure he'll be better than Capu, and he's of course younger, and he's 26 years old, and he does look quite good. But anyway, Gutierrez accepts the contract for us, so Gutierrez becomes our first signing here at Spurs. We go ahead and accept this contract, accept this deal, £9 million. It does seem quite expensive, to be honest, but he's a scout future star. He's he's 79 overall. He's going to be getting into the 80s very soon. He's only 20 years old. He's an absolute monster. He's really, really good. So I think it's worth it, to be honest. Even if he's not a first team player straight away, I'm sure he'll be a great player for Spurs for the future. We offer a new deal for Carrasco at Napoli, £10 million plus Aaron Lennon, who has decreased massively. He's a 74 overall now with barely any pace whatsoever. So we offer a new deal there. And also John Brown, one of those random players that is in low overalls. Looks like he's on his way to Kilmarnock. We also saw that Sunderland just do not want to let go of Fernando. So we offer 6.25 million plus Capu for the Brazilian holding midfielder, because I really would like to get hold of him. And we then see that they do go ahead and accept that. So there's quite a bit of bartering going on between us two clubs here. We do manage to offer Fernando a contract. It's 70 grand a week for 4 years. We give him important first team player status, and we'll wait and see what happens there. Napoli accept a £10 million deal plus Aaron Lennon for Brian Carrasco. So it looks like the cult hero is coming back to the series, which is great, because it's always nice to see Carrasco getting in any team of ours. And also that random centre back we had has now gone to Kilmarnock for 130 grand. Transfer offer then comes in for Jonathan Obika, and once again it's a player which we don't really have a use for. 27 years old, 66 overall, 450 grand valuation. We just accept a 400 grand deal from Ipswich Town. Also FC Colne want Alex Pritchard. Now this guy seems like a decent squad player at Spurs, 74 overall, 25 years old, some very decent technical stats. I think his dribbling stats like 88, which is really good. So we don't really want to see him go. We counter offer and we'll wait and see what happens there. But Fernando does come into the club. Fernando doesn't come into the club just yet. He declines the contract, but Brian Carrasco does come into the club. That's what I wanted to say. Brian Carrasco does come into the club. So we get another signing in. Carrasco and Gutierrez are returning to the series, which is great, because those two are a bit of cult heroes, really. And we also got another transfer offer for one of our random 60-odd overall players. It's Huddersfield, who want a centre-back who's 64 overall. Pretty low transfer fee, really, but we don't really need him, so we may as well take the cash. And also Jonathan Obika has gone to Ipswich Town, which is very good news for us, because again, he's a bit of a deadwood player, really. But after that, we saw that FC Colne were only going to offer £2.8 million for Alex Pritchard. I said I wanted £3.5 million, because he does look quite good, to be honest, as a backup player. And on a squad rotation player status contract, I'm sure he'd be a decent player for us. But a transfer offer comes in for Kyle Norton. It's Forest for £2.2 million. 76 overall, 29 years old. He's going to be decreasing in stats very, very soon. So we asked Forest for £2.5 million, and we'll wait and see what they say there, because he's still a decent player, to be honest, but he's not going to be that great, and I don't think he'll get into our side very much, because we are looking to strengthen the fullback area straight away. But Fernando has came in for £6.25 million plus Etienne Capoue going to Sunderland. in. So I was a bit sceptical about accepting that contract at first, but as I look at his stats, 83 years old, medium and high work rates, very decent physical stats, some nice pace, very balanced physical stats really, and some very balanced skill attributes as well. So he's a very balanced player, and I think that's a good deal for us. I really do, because Kapua, like, I don't know what it is about him. I just don't rate him that much, and I'm very pleased with the replacement we've got in. So Fernando comes in. We now have Fernando, Carrasco and Gutierrez in as free players, so very pleased with the signing so far. We still have £22 million left to spend. We also go and try and sign that random American goalkeeper, because as I said, I wouldn't mind a backup goalkeeper, and also FC Cologne matched a £3.5 million counter offer for Alex Pritchard, as do Nottingham Forest matched a £2.5 million counter offer for Kyle Norton. So both of those players who will be squad players here at Spurs look like they are on their way out of the club to FC Cologne and Nottingham Forest respectively. But we resubmitted a new deal for Carl Darlow here. As I said, he's 27 years old on the game, and although his valuation is really, really low, to be honest, I'm not really sure what his overall would be. I'd imagine it will be in the early 70s, but I'd imagine he'll still be a good backup goalkeeper for us, so I wouldn't mind signing him. And also we going for Connor Wickham here of Sunderland. He's a striker I really admire in real life. I've mentioned many times, I do believe he can break into the England side in a few years' time if he keeps on scoring and does cement a regular first-team place somewhere. Whether it's on at Sheffield Wednesday on a permanent deal, or whether he does somehow break into the Sunderland side under Poyet, I would definitely like to see him in the England side one day. But we put in a bid for Connor Wickham. Millwall, one of our old clubs, coming for Soldado. They want him for £1.9 million, I think it was. He's on the decline, Soldado, 77 overall, 33 years old, so he can go to Den if he wants. And also a loan offer is accepted for that random American goalkeeper from Southampton. So we take him into the club. It's only going to cost us £4 a week, and as you guys know, I like to have at least 3 goalkeepers in my club, and he does become the third one. 65 overall, 6'2", 22 years old. Very, very average stats really, but for a backup goalkeeper on a very low wage, it's not really that bad, is it? But after that, we sold one of our random 60-odd players again. Dean Howell has gone, and also Soldado has gone to Millwall for £1.9 million. So I guess it's always nice to help out one of our former clubs. Kyle Norton has gone to Forest for £2.5 million, so he's now left the club. And also Alex Pritchard is not going to be going to FC Cologne because the transfer negotiations broke down. Forest wanted 475 grand for Carl Darlow, and Sunderland rejected our bid for Connor Wickham. So we offer Forest a new bid for the goalkeeper. We offer them one of our random goalkeepers we have at the moment, Tom Tanser, only 61 overall, and clearly doesn't have too much of a future, plus 400 grand, because we won't need that goalkeeper if we do get Carl Darlow in. And as you can see, Sunderland did reject a bid for Connor Wickham, which is a bit of a shame because he's valued £9.5 million in the game, 25 years old, crucial first team player at Sunderland, so I'd imagine he's pretty decent, and I would like to get him as a backup striker. And also we put in a bid for Andy Carroll, currently at Norwich City on the game, 29 years old, £4.7 million valuation, so I would imagine he's in the high 70s, possibly sneaking into the 80s, but probably in the high 70s. Wouldn't mind him as a backup striker, and we'll wait and see what happens there. We also put in a bid for this guy, Livaja of Genoa. I could never pronounce this guy's name, I really couldn't. This guy we had in our Ultimate Team series right at the beginning. He was very, very good. So anyone who watches that would know he was very decent for us. So I wouldn't mind signing him in career mode. He's got a 5-star weak foot as far as I'm aware, so that would be very nice indeed. We'll wait and see what Genoa say. But we also put in a bid for Jesse Rodriguez, I think that's how you pronounce that, of £5 million. The Real Madrid left midfielder on the game, but of course he can play up top as well. We then get a couple of transfer offers here. One for Harry Kane. Sevilla want him for £8 million. We didn't really know what to do with this one because although Kane is a decent striker, £8 million isn't that bad. We asked Sevilla if they will give us £13 million, and if so, they can take him. Of course, he used to play for Millwall on loan, but also a big coming for Ezekiel Friars, the former United left back. We asked Hanover for £10 million because again, he looks like he's a very good squad player. You know, not a first team player, but a squad player. So I'd like to keep hold of him really. And of course, he's English, which is very nice indeed. Also, we put in an inquiry for Jack Rodwell, and also one for Danny Welbeck as well, because I wouldn't mind getting some more English players into the side as well. We also put in a bid for Stephen Corker, currently at Cardiff, but of course a former Spurs player. So I'd like to get Corker back to the White Hart Lane, because Corker is a centre back I really, really do rate. You know, I really do admire Corker, and I think him going to Cardiff this season for £8 million was an absolute steal by Malky Mackay, really. And to be honest, we'd like to get Corker back at White Hart Lane, so we put in a bid of £3 million, and we'll wait and see what Cardiff say, just to test the water really. United want Daniel Sturridge for £17.5 million, and we say no way, David Moyes, you're not taking Sturridge off us because I want to keep him. And also Hanover said they're not going to go higher than 6.5 million for Friars. I said match 9.5 million, you can take him, but in reality I'd rather keep him here. And also City said they're not going to let go of Jack Rodwell, but United said they would allow Danny Welbeck to move to us for £10.5 million. So that's not that bad for Danny Welbeck, 27 years old, valued at 10.5 by David Moyes, but I reckon he's a decent striker. I'd imagine he's in the 80s. We offer 7.5 million plus Adebayor, and we will wait and see what Manchester United say. But we had a couple of pre-season friendlies in this episode, but there are actually no games in today's episode, as you're probably just figuring out. There are no games in today's episode. The reason being is because there is so much transfer business. I literally just couldn't fit it in without having the episode go into a ridiculous amount of time. So that's why I simmed the pre-season friendlies, and unfortunately there are no games in today's episode. But there is a lot of business as well. And as you can tell, the footage hasn't been sped up either, because I wanted to make sure you guys could see all the business without missing anything. But anyway, Sevilla come back for Harry Kane and say they'll offer £12 million and go no higher. He's valued at 6.5 million. I like Harry Kane at Millwall. I thought he was a very decent striker on loan for us, but £12 million for Kane is a decent deal. And the reason I accepted that, despite wanting to keep Kane at the club, was because I remembered that Manchester United said they would take a deal of £10.5 million for Danny Welbeck. So that's a £1.5 million profit for a striker who I'd probably say would be better in terms of overall. So that's why I accepted that deal, and it looks like Kane is on his way to Sevilla. We put in a new deal for Carl Darlow, and also Norwich and Genoa said the deals for Carroll and Navaja weren't going to be accepted, as did Real Madrid say they weren't going to let go of Jesse Rodriguez, but we offer a new deal for him, but I don't think we're going to be able to sign him. He's a very talented young man, 25 years old on the game, can play on the wing and up top, and I'd like to get him really, but I don't think it's going to happen, to be honest, because I'd imagine they value him very highly. After that, we saw that we got a training injury. Lovren's going to be out for 6 weeks, which kind of sucks, but that's one of those things you can't really avoid. And after that, we saw the board say they want us to qualify for the Champions League this year. We already knew that. And also Cardiff said they're not going to let go of Stephen Corker. Hanover said they will not go higher than £6.5 million for Friars, so I said just forget about it then. And Sunderland just do not want to let go of Connor Wickham. They really admire him just as much as I do, I'm sure, and they will not let us take him. And I was about to put £70 million in there, but we offer £9.5 million with no player in the swap deal, and we'll wait and see what Sunderland say. After that, we saw United accepted the bid of £7.5 million plus Adebayor. So with Harry Kane currently looking like he's on his way to Sevilla for £12 million, we could be on our way to getting Welbeck for £7.5 million plus a striker in Adebayor who is on a massive decline. So that could be a very good bit of business for us. And Real Madrid said they weren't going to let go of Jesse Rodriguez. After that, we saw Millwall attracting interest from a Middle Eastern businessman and could get taken over and get a load of money very soon, which is nice to see for me. And also our final pre-season friendly game was against Bologna, which we of course simulated. But as always guys, a big thank you for watching today's video. I really hope you have enjoyed it. If you have enjoyed the video, please leave likes, that's much appreciated, and it really does help my channel out. And I'll see you for the next episode of Career Mode tomorrow morning, where we could have another quadruple weekend this weekend.